It was at this bus stop on Pleasant Valley Road where police say a man was gunned down this afternoon, and directly across the street, a daycare and Sky Valley Apartments, where residents there say shots were fired just last night.
I was coming home from work, saw all the lights.
When parents came to pick up their children from daycare on Pleasant Valley Road this evening, they were greeted with sirens. At the bus stop not far from Lundy Road, a crime scene. Authorities say a man was shot and killed in broad daylight. He was shot at least once and died en route to the hospital. Residents reported hearing about 4 gunshots around 2:30 p.m.
Community need police protection around here, and they need to have reinforced a lot.
Mobile police spent hours on the scene, combing through the evidence, canvassing the area, and interviewing witnesses. No word on any arrests, no description of a suspect or the victim. The shooting happened at a bus stop on Pleasant Valley Road in the middle of the day, across from a busy apartment complex and a daycare. And directly behind the scene, another empty facility that residents say is set to open as a child care center soon.
Could have killed a little kid walking out here to get in the car with his mom and dad. You know? It's just ridiculous. I don't know what this world's coming to.
For those living close to the crime scene, they say the shooting isn't completely out of the ordinary. Many reported hearing shots being fired at Sky Valley apartment complex last night. Police now patrolling the area closely as they continue searching for the shooter.
We have had a number of shootings and reports of shots fired. We have a close patrol on this area. We kind of monitor this area.
So far, no arrests have been made in this case. Mobile police are still investigating. Reporting in Mobile, Jasmine Williams, Local 15 News.
Trends throughout the country are changing. So what that requires the sheriff's office to do is change how we do business. Our tactics have to change as well.
After the Sandy Hook school shooting in December, the nation's tearful eyes were opened once again. Here in Baldwin County, a security task force was giving school vulnerability a second look.
This is visible today. There will be lots of things that we have already put in place and other things that are going to be in place.
For example, schools are adding new two-way radios with a direct link to law enforcement and plan to upgrade all inside cameras to have digital Wi-Fi access cameras. And this step-by-step exercise, a mock shooting and hostage scenario at Rosington School, plays a huge part in that progress.
I mean, we actually have the Mobile County SWAT team here today watching us, checking our tactics. Are we doing everything the way that we should? Being very critical.
Put to the test were real-time hostage negotiations and a calculated entry to subdue the intruders. All this to complement what teachers and staff trained to do on the inside.
We're also required to do 2 lockdown drills each year so that we practice that.
Schools are safer today in Baldwin County than they've ever been, but they're not as safe as they're going to be. It's law enforcement professionalism like today that makes them safer.
No missing it. It stands out.
It certainly does. Starting this week, male and female inmates in Citronell's jail wear bubblegum pink from head to toe. Prior to the pink transformation, inmates at this jail didn't wear uniforms at all. Police Chief Shane Stringer says that was becoming a problem.
All of our inmates are misdemeanor offenses, and they are able to go out and work daily to work off their fines. And one of the minor problems we were having is contraband being snuck back into the jail. This will cut down on that because the uniforms do not have pockets.
And just a couple months ago, police say 33-year-old Thomas Charles ran from a Citronell officer while in custody on burglary charges. He was caught later that day, but Chief Stringer believes he could have been captured much faster.
A citizen seen the escapee run, but didn't know he was an inmate.
Now, it's pretty easy to distinguish inmates from everyone else.
Yes, it is a deterrent. Not too many of the guy inmates enjoy the pink.
Just ask William Smith, who's serving 30 days behind bars.
I'm incarcerated for an old fine from several years ago. I didn't comply with a judge.
He's not thrilled with the color, but is actually behind the idea.
It's a little deterrent. Maybe if people begin to stop and think that they're humiliated out in public a little bit, maybe they'll start conferring with the court and getting things done.
In Citronelle, Christian Jennings, Local 15 News.
In life, we all want a shot. It's what we do with it. That's the story that differentiates one player from another.
He's my divine miracle.
For Divine Miracle Miles, his tale started 18 years ago in his mother's womb. At only 6 months into her pregnancy, she went into labor at high risk. Her baby was later declared dead.
And they said he had no lungs, eyes had not developed, and his heart had stopped.
Somehow, some way, he survived. Divine intervention, maybe. Defying the odds in his tale were still questionable. Miles was extremely premature, and medical professionals weren't hopeful about his quality of life.
He would not ever be a normal kid, that he would be mentally retarded and would not ever develop motor skills as other kids his age.
Keeping the faith, the Miles never treated their son any different. He thrived just like anyone else, especially when it came to sports.
And I know that the Lord, which is my own Savior, and I know that He is going to bring me through great things.
The past 4 years, he's led the way on Blood High School's basketball team. And this week, Miles will prepare to graduate. He's going to college. As he gets ready to walk across that stage, it's another shot, he says, to continue the story that wasn't supposed to be told.
I just enjoy watching the meet, and that's about it.
Squirrel scavengers on the hunt for dinner. Dozens approaching every person that finds a bench in Bienville Square. Some say they prefer cheese.
Some of them are kind of funny. They'll smell them and they'll go away.
Others agree peanuts are the way to go.
We like to take them and crack them open. I like doing that.
Whatever their food of choice, feeding them could soon come with a fine. Mobile City Council proposed an ordinance that would make it illegal to feed wild animals on public property. The issue is the squirrels in the park have become pretty aggressive. They'll come right up to you and take food right out of your hand. Population and possibly nipping are a concern, but most park goers say they enjoy the squirrels and they feed the critters with caution.
But every now and then I'll sit down and have a lunch or something and just kind of throw them something. So I don't let them climb on me, but it's not an issue if they did.
In Mobile, Jasmine Williams, Local 15 News.
Here's pictures a viewer sent us of geese leaving droppings along Fairhope's Magnolia Beach Friday night. And here's cell phone video taken in the same spot from a different person the next day.
We do believe it's of animal origin. We do believe it came from the geese.
Regardless, the cell phone video has many questioning whether the stinky mess is feather or fellow. As city officials get to the bottom of it, beach resident of 8 years Richard Latati says birds of a feather use the bathroom together.
It's very common this time of year. They're nesting and raising their families, and they're eating and enjoying the beach like we do.
While spending an evening on a beautiful public beach looking for waste might not seem like a fun thing to do, and it's not, we decided to do it anyway. And when we did that, we found a bunch of bird tracks, essentially, to what I believe could possibly be a long line, a goose poop.
Our sewer treatment plant has had no spills. It just doesn't have the physical characteristics of human waste. It does not. There's no paper. There's no plastic.
Officials say that's a good thing because it rules out waste from a cruise ship or boats in general. Still, they say they're waiting for results to come back before flushing any suspicion down the drain.
Midway between Grand Bay and Bayou La Batterie, right there off Hurricane Boulevard, sits the home of the Hurricanes, Alma Bryant High School. This community has fought back from plenty of these storms and, most recently, a catastrophic oil spill. And that's why this production crew is focused directly on this football team.
I guess the show is about all the things that have to come together on a Friday night, community-wise and behind the scenes, some things you maybe sometimes have to overcome, and what's been overcome, I guess, in this community.
Alma Bryant picked from about 50 other schools around the nation, now the focus of a TV pilot. NFL Hall of Famer Jerry Rice not receiving these days, but definitely giving.
I'm very fortunate to have played professional football for over 20 years, and I think I did okay. I think I did okay, and I can pass some of that knowledge on to those kids right now. Our kids have all heard of those things and heard his name, but until they actually laid eyes on him, he became real.
Having Jerry Rice teach and mentor these players about the most exciting thing to happen to the Hurricanes this season, just 1-7 and out of the playoff picture, but Coach Breland is showing his guys sometimes victories don't always show up on the scoreboard.
It makes us honored and feeling good, and we're more than just more than I guess thankful to have people like that come down. Someone like Jerry Rice to come down and be able to be here with our kids is just phenomenal. Just to see their reaction when I just walk up and just shake their hand or just take a picture with them, it's like it's something they would never forget, and it's something I would never forget.
Crews and cameras aren't limited to the studios in Hollywood. Once again, Mobile will be the backdrop of another movie, this time Bus 657.
We know the city knows us, just the support we get here is really second to none.
Producers handpicked the port city for the film, starring Robert De Niro, Kate Bosworth, and Morris Chestnut. At a glimpse, it tells the story of a casino heist where a father with a sick daughter attempts to rob a casino to pay for medical treatment. On a larger scale, there's also the tale of an economy benefiting from Alabama's entertainment incentives, which can be as much as 25%.
So we can document the movies that came here that requested and were granted the incentives, $72 million for the Mobile Baldwin area.
The incentives have a return investment. This is producer Emmett's third time traveling to Mobile for work. He and the star say they enjoy the Southern hospitality, food, and scenery.
Gained a little weight since I've been here. Not happy about that. So.
I've been to Felix's. Today I had lunch over at Winchell's, and you can't get me enough of that Alabama seafood, so keep it coming.
It's been great, it really has, and I know the legislature is very supportive of the incentives, and I hope it stays that way.